Sometimes we always wonder what's going to happen on these things, and I realized, what, we're going to drink bourbon and we're going to record a show, so something's going to happen.
Yeah, it's we never know which way it's going to go. It could get sideways real quick.
Well, and as you politely tell me every now and then, we're a finely tuned machine
We are.
with a guy that can't speak, and
Well,
what could go off the rails.
we're well. We got a fine operation that we run, literally.
Well, and I think we're going to have some interesting pours on this episode, and we'll see where the conversation goes, because this is just kind of a free-flow, fun night. Woodinville Whiskey out of Woodinville, Washington, sent us some pretty cool things. You have the flagship straight 100% rye bottle, I believe, in your possession.
I do.
Look at that lovely green label.
Yep, 100% right.
So shall we
Handmade.
enjoy one of those?
Handmade in Washington. Don't forget that. Yep. See what we got.
This finely tuned machine just realized that he may or may not have flip-flopped his glasses behind the boom. So hopefully I didn't.
Like I said, we are. Listen, this operation is.
I might be the squeaky wheel right now.
Yeah. Got my nice glass brought to you by Liquor Barn. Get all your party needs there. This is not a sponsorship, but if they want to.
Yeah. Little Bourbon Fest coming up. Depending on when this drops, tickets could be on sale.
Huh. This one's Bourbon on the Banks.
Aha. See? Those tickets are on sale.
Which one?
Bourbon on the Banks.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh, yeah, because it was hot as hell when we went to that.
Mm-hmm. Which was weird for October.
It was, but it's hot. Hot.
And we'll be talking about those here on another episode because, unfortunately, Woodinville is not going to be at any of those, but the other one that we'll try, that we'll review here in a little while, will be. So what are you thinking on the nose on the rye here? And a straight 100% rye.
I actually like it. Well, I want to say you like or hate the nose of it, but I mean, it's like, it does smell really good. Like, it does have...
Just have like the baking spices and feel like you're in a kitchen cooking.
Yep. Like, you get like... I do get kind of some cinnamon, some raisins in there a little bit. Yeah. Do get kind of this like it's I can't figure out. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to be pretentious by no means and try to pick out what fruit it is, but I do get some type of dried fruit, like almost kind of like I don't know. Fine, the hell with it. I'll get pretentious with it. Like kind of like apricots, maybe. I don't know.
I'm going to say this. I was a little nervous going into this because anything 100% rye, I have not been a big fan of. It just that I like the 90. I like something. It's to me the rye needs to be cut. That's just my personal opinion. 95.5, 91.9, whatever 71.29, if I can do math. Whatever those fun mash bills are out there. So I've always been a little leery anytime we get 100% rye. And maybe because I was scared, I had really low expectations.
Yeah.
But it's better than I expected.
And you know what? This is a fine example for this is one of the comebackers of the year. Because I cheated, just full transparency for everybody on the show listening. I cheated. I was, into the sauce a little bit the other night. So if you follow me on Snapchat, you know that I kind of scored both of these on a whim and didn't really care for them. Honestly, I think I scored both of them like 6.7, 6.5, somewhere in there, 6.3. Didn't care for them. But I do say this, it drinks hotter than 90 proof, which I'm actually I love.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big fan of 90 proof. 90 proof bourbon. That's fine. It's fine to just easy sip, and just no matter what it is. Like there's some you know famous bourbon out there that's 90 proof, but yeah, I'm not actually hating on this as much as I was the other night when
Maybe you're in a better mood. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd ate something and it changed my whole taste buds up that night or what, but I don't know. But this is actually not. It's it's better than. Yeah.
Like I said, and I don't know. Maybe because I saw your score, I was a little nervous. I was like, "Oh, it's probably gonna be what I always expect. It's overly spicy." We've had several 100% ryes that I think everyone can see my reactions on most of those and know what I'm thinking. This one, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's coming in at a 5+ year whiskey. And you will love this, Brandon. What do you think the MSRP is on this thing?
5 years. It's not even age stated, so we're talking about straight 100% rye. $60.
$39.99.
Wow. Well, the reason why I went 60 is because 100% rye, and we all know how hard rye is to distill. So typically, they always make the ryes a little bit higher just because of that extra, little bit of elbow
And it's not
grease
the
that they
easiest
put
grain
into
to always
distilling.
grow either.
No, it's not. Do we know where they get their rye from? Do we remember?
So
Do they grow it there in Washington, or they get it
in
from
Washington?
Canada?
And I've got my little cheat sheet right in front of me with their friend and farmer Arnie Omlin. They asked, "How about you plant some rye for us?" And Arnie's response wasn't an immediate yes, but he eventually planted and tested and found a rye that's the staple of their flagship 100% rye, and it's part of the 22% of the mash bill, their flagship bourbon today now too.
Nice.
So this rye is used across
We need to go out there
their
and
products.
we need to go out there and interview Arnie.
Yeah, I also love that he said no, potentially no at first.
Yeah, I wonder if
Smart,
Arnie's just
smart
kind of like this. I wonder if Arnie's just like this, like awesome old timer farmer that's got like all this land, and he's like, "You want me to do what?"
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, I'm
it's
enjoying
not
this
bad.
one.
Yeah,
Very pleasantly surprised by it. And then they also decided to go a step from there and finish them in Port Casks.
100% rye.
Finished
Yeah.
in Port.
Port Casks.
So-
That's next.
So that's next. So shall we try that one?
Yeah. Oh well. Or you want to move to that one, or do you want to? Well, we don't have to score it.
Well, I mean, if you want to, I'm saying
I think it's for $40. Yeah.
I think it's
100%.
worth a try because I don't know if
Yeah.
you're going to find it, like, especially if you're unsure, if you like ryes and you're
Yeah.
unsure of going to 100% rye whiskey. This is honestly probably one of the better ones to give that full step into 100% rye whiskey.
Yeah.
And like you said, $40, man, that's hard to beat. 5+ year, $40 rye. Hell, there's some 2
I honestly
ryes that aren't
don't
even
know.
that price.
I honestly don't know of anybody that's doing 100% rye for $40. I was gonna say less than 60. Like I don't know anybody. Like there's a major brand out there that does a 100% rye, and it's 6 years, and it's $60, sometimes $70, depending on where you go and where you find it. But that's really good. But again, it's like, but 100% rye's a different ballgame, man. Especially if you're not a rye guy or rye girl.
And that's what I'm thinking too. Like, or if you're dabbling into rye and you're like, oh, I've had kind of the Indiana 95.5s, the quote unquote, magic rye mash bill that I think of. Like the step into the hundreds hard. So I think people would be very pleasantly surprised with that.
I agree. I mean, for $40, I mean, yeah, and especially if it's, and it might be an appeal to people too with the rye because if people are trying to get into the ryes, but they're also like worried about being super spicy. I'm not a fan of 90 proof most of the time, but I think the 90 proof on this kind of brings that spiciness that it would bring out to some folks. So yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
So you're a yes
All
on
right.
that one?
Yeah. I'm a yes.
Me too. Me
Even
too. Look at us, good cops. It's
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Now the
Even
port.
though I scored it, but still, it's
Well,
for
who
$40
knows?
there.
The third time you try it, it could be totally different.
It's true.
Now the squeaky wheel jumped ahead. So shall we try the 100% rye whiskey finished in Port Casks?
Ooh, smells good. I'm nervous about this one because I didn't score it great on my Snapchat adventure the other night. But also, I don't know if I've ever seen a rye, especially a 100% rye, finished in port.
Seen the sherry
Usually,
casks.
it's just usually your normal, regular, straight bourbon mash bill that's finished in port that I've seen. Now
Yeah.
we might have had one, and that's been a lot of bourbon ago. I don't remember it, but
The only one that comes to mind is Minor Case because I think they do theirs in
they do
sherry.
sherry, but they're not 100% rye though, are they?
No, but I mean that's their rye whiskey. I'm just thinking
Right.
of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
rye,
yeah.
just a rye in
A
general.
rye's finished. Yeah. Well, I mean, Angel's Envy does. They got a finished rye. But I think theirs is in maple, which is glorious. But
But yeah, 100%. I don't know too many people doing finishes.
no, not for 100%. This one's got to be in that 5-year 6 range too, right? I can tell.
Both of
Judging
these
by
are
judging by
over
judging by the
5 years.
legs, judging by the legs on the glass, it has to be 5 or 6. All right.
Totally different night.
Yep. We're gonna call it the "Come On Back."
I mean, you've always wanted to do a comebacker series, so apparently we're doing it tonight for you.
I've tried, but the bosses just keep shutting me down. So
Hey, now that we're doing these just random recordings, where the wind shall take us.
I know, right? Let's see one more time. I mean, it smells good. I mean, it really does. The nose is really good. I'm not gonna. You do get the sweetness from the. Get that kind of that sweetness, ethanol-y smell, from the bourbon and from the port cask, but you do get a lot of sweetness off the nose.
This one's totally different. Now, I've already had my sip, but like, I feel like the port cast does something totally different to it, and everything is like a little bit elevated. Like you get more of the flavors. Not saying the rye is muted at all, but I felt like that everything kind of went whoa at me.
I honestly, and just everybody that saw my Snapchats, just forget it. Like Snapchat does, just forget it ever happened. But this one it's pretty good, honestly. Like you get that for me on the taste. Like as soon as I think it's got a lot of flavor, sweetness right off the front. That subtle sweetness. I think that's coming from the port. And then you get the little spice on the back end. So I think it really balances it out. And it's 90 proof, so it's not going to be too harsh on the heat side of it, and going to bring out that extra heat and spice that most people get from rye. But you and I are unicorns. We get sweetness from rye, so it doesn't.
That's why rye is our favorite beverage or choice, I think. But no, you're right, and it's kind of weird too because for me, like I said, everything's kind of elevated, and even as I was tasting it, it almost felt like the port was like the guardrails of the rye for me. Like it wouldn't let the rye go too crazy. It kind of kept it in as
correct.
The flavors. I don't know how well I'm explaining things because I'm really great at this, but but I mean it's a different. That finish does something different to it in a good way. Like sometimes you can see like people do a finish just to like cover up something. We've been fortunate enough, 15 Stars, we just did the flight night with them, and they do a lot of finished products and blends. And I feel like their stuff isn't to hide anything. They basically make a whole new product, and this is not hiding anything. This is just playing real nice together in the sandbox and making something good.
Correct. I agree. Yep. Nope. 100%.
Now, what do you think the MSRP is on this?
Do we know how long they finished it in port?
I don't see that in my notes, so I don't know.
Almost $60.
$69.99, so pretty close.
Sex. Kid show.
I mean, we are drinking bourbon, so. So now with that though,
Nah.
$40 for the straight rye, you know, the 100% straight rye makes a ton of sense. You know, 5+ year product, you're getting it under $10 a year. This one though, coming in right at about $70. Finished product though, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah. This is also that entry level, port finish.
I think if you're getting the one, you almost kind of want to get the other because you get to experience both sides of something, and it's not technically breaking the bank in my mind. Now, if you're buying a ton of the bottles, yes, it is. I get it. You know, you buy 7 bottles at $70. Yeah, that's going to add up real quick. But if this one is, to me, a fun one to try after you try the other one, just to see how different they are, considering they're the same product, just one's finished.
Correct. And I think, I really think that they're completely different for sure, but I think they're both really good. Especially, you get the straight rye, 100%, straight up, $40. Come on, it's hard to beat.
That's very good.
Especially for 100% rye. I've seen some ryes that are the high rye mash bill, but it's hard to beat. And then you're getting it, almost 6-year whiskey? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the port finish, yeah, I'm digging it. Me way more.
See, come back. Sometimes you gotta let these bad boys open up and try them again.
Yeah, you do. And it's word of the wise for all you listeners out there. If you pop a bottle, try it, and you're the first time, you're like, then let it sit. Leave it on the countertop with the top off for about an hour or two, then cork it, put it back on yourself. Come back to it, about a couple of weeks later. And
who knows?
Most cases, you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
And just so everyone knows, the flagship rye available nationally in stores and online, while the port finish is available in limited quantity exclusively online via the Woodinville website. So if you want it, you better go there quickly before it sells out. So yes to both?
Yeah, 100%. Especially at those prices, yeah. Even if you think even if you score it as in the 6s, like somebody did, it's still worth, it's still.
I don't know where you're going to be on the screen whenever I'm doing it.
No, that's true. It's still worth it. Still worth it.
I agree. Well, there you go, folks.
Yep.
Cheers.